Welcome, brave souls, to the survivalist guide for the financially feeble, the cash-strapped champions, the thrifty thrivers. As we all know, life can sometimes feel like a boxing match with your bank account. And let's face it, sometimes you're on the receiving end of the KO punch. But worry not, we're here to be your cut man, patching you up and getting you back in the ring. Here, we're not about big bucks. We're about big brains, big hearts, and big laughs. This ain't your typical how to pinch pennies guide. Oh no, we're going on a wild ride where frugality meets fun, savings meets silliness, and thrift meets theater. Get ready to transform your budget blues into a roaring comedy of errors. With you as the witty protagonist, these aren't just finance tips, they're life hacks for the hilariously hard up. From culinary capers to domestic dramas, we've got you covered. So buckle up, because we're about to take off into the eccentric world of living large on a small budget. And who knows? You might just discover that the view from the ground floor is surprisingly panoramic. Let's get into it, shall we? 1. Plan your meals ahead of time for the week. Listen, have you ever been in one of those cooking shows where they give you a mystery box of ingredients? You've got an egg, a can of tuna, and a cucumber, and you're expected to whip up a 3-course meal? Welcome to low-income living, my friend. That's your life now. Plan ahead, because spontaneous meals often translate to, I guess it's microwave noodles again. You've got to be like a culinary chess player, strategizing your meals 5 moves in advance. Remember, if it's cheap, nutritious, and doesn't taste like a cardboard box, you're doing it right. When you're balling on a budget, it's important to hone those cooking skills. Creativity in the kitchen is your best friend when you're running low on money and items in the kitchen. Practice makes perfect, so it's time to start making magic. 2. Cut down on unnecessary expenses, such as cable TV or eating out. Remember the times when you were wondering why you had 400 channels on your TV, but there was still nothing to watch? Now, with that fancy cable cut, you get 0 channels and still have nothing to watch. Progress. Eating out? Forget it. You're not Gordon Ramsay, but now you're going to learn what lightly seared on a high flame with a hint of rosemary really means, because your wallet can't handle the trauma of restaurant bill. And that includes Starbucks. That's right, your latte isn't a necessity. That money could be much better spent somewhere else. If you're toting around a Starbucks cup on a daily basis, then that's a great starting point for some serious savings. It's time to brew your own coffee. Surely you have a friend who will come off of their Netflix password. You know, mom and dad still have cable and would be happy to share their username and password, giving you access to all of the TV network apps. The thing is, they probably didn't even realize this is an option. So dial them up and enjoy your free cable. 3. Use coupons and buy generic brands. Becoming a coupon connoisseur is like joining a secret society. You're in the shadows, decoding the mysteries of the Sunday paper, plotting your next strike at the grocery store. Forget about brand loyalty. The only brand you know now is whatever's cheapest. Instead of Lucky Charms, you've got Fortunate Symbols. They taste just as sweet when your bank account is singing hymns of gratitude. There are some things you probably refuse to go cheap on. That's reasonable. We all have several of those. For instance, toilet paper, Ziploc baggies, and Coca-Cola are a few things many people refuse to go cheap on. That's fine. You can still have the things you enjoy most, but I guarantee there are some generic items out there that you could buy and you wouldn't even notice the difference. 4. Shop at thrift stores, garage sales, and discount stores. Some people call it thrift shopping. You can call it temporal fashion exploration. You're not wearing used clothes, you're wearing a story. That Hawaiian shirt, maybe it was at a beach wedding or an 80s party. The world is your runway and your style is now eclectic. And garage sales, they are like your personal treasure hunt. You never know when you might stumble upon a vintage band tee or a near new blender for $1. 5. Look for free or low-cost entertainment options, such as visiting parks or attending community events or the library. Alright, let's get real about free or low-cost entertainment options. You might be on a budget, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun. Got a park nearby? Perfect. You can't underestimate a good walk in the park. It's an open-air concert where the birds are the live band. No eardrum-busting music or ridiculously priced snacks. Just nature's soundtrack playing for anyone who bothers to listen. Your local community events? They're not Coachella, sure, but they've got a unique charm all their own. You've got amateur bands trying their heart out, open mic nights filled with passionate, albeit slightly offbeat, poets, and a sense of camaraderie that you won't find in a stadium of 50,000 people. And don't forget libraries. In a world where streaming services are busy emptying your pockets, libraries stand as beacons of free entertainment. You can journey to distant lands, solve gripping mysteries, or navigate the complicated love lives of Victorian-era heroines, all within the pages of books that you can borrow for free. It's a smorgasbord of stories that doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, they often have free events like film screenings and book clubs, a far cry from the steep cheaply priced movie theaters and club membership fees. In short, cutting back on spending doesn't mean you have to cut back on life. There's plenty of affordable entertainment out there if you know where to look. It's not about settling for less, it's about discovering more. 6. Consider getting a roommate or renting out a spare room. This tip is like an episode of Friends, but without central perk. Instead of Ross, you might get a Bob who has an unusual affinity for collecting spoons. But hey, Bob pays half the rent and occasionally shares his grandma's apple pie. It's like playing the lottery, but instead of millions, you win a new best friend or at least some interesting stories for your next dinner party. It's cool to have your own place, but when you're still getting your financial footing in life, a roommate could be a necessary sacrifice. Not only are they going to chip in some rent money, but also they can pitch in on utility bills, they're going to log into their streaming services on the TV, and they'll chip in on grocery. You're already starting to come around on this roommate thing, I can tell. 7. Use carpooling, walking, bicycling, or public transportation as much as possible. When it comes to getting around on a budget, the name of the game is versatility. Car ownership comes with its own set of financial headache, gas, maintenance, insurance, the list goes on. But who said you need a personal set of wheels to get from point A to point B? There are plenty of alternatives that are easy on the pocket and, let's face it, a bit more exciting. Carpooling is like a mini road trip to start and end your day. Not only do you get the benefit of split costs, but you also get a slice of social interaction. Maybe your carpool buddy has a hidden talent for celebrity impressions, or perhaps they're a human encyclopedia of 90s pop culture. Either way, the journey is sure to be more interesting. Walking isn't just for fitness enthusiasts, it's a viable mode of transport for short distances. Plus, it's an opportunity to explore your local area at a pace that allows you to appreciate the little things, the quirky graffiti, the hidden park, the small coffee shop you never noticed before. It's travel and a workout rolled into one, and the only fuel you need is a good pair of shoes. Bicycling, you're not just saving money, you're winning the war against traffic. Breezing past gridlocked cars while you enjoy the wind in your hair, that's a level of satisfaction money can't buy. And you can forget about hunting for parking spots. You can park a bike just about anywhere. Public transportation is your budget-friendly passport to the wider city. With just a small fee, you're on a train or bus, ready to disembark at a multitude of destinations. Sure, you might have to share your journey with an overly chatty old lady or a toddler who's discovering the acoustic properties of a bus interior, but that's part of the charm. In short, rethinking your transportation doesn't just save money, it can also make your life more interesting. Who knows what stories you'll collect when you ditch the personal car and embrace the world of shared and self-powered transport. 8. Find ways to earn extra income, such as freelancing or starting a side hustle. Strapped for cash? Time to flex your entrepreneurial muscles. Think freelancing. Your skills are the product, your laptop is the shop. Whether you're a word wizard or a code guru, platforms like Upwork and Fiverr are like global marketplaces hungry for your talent. Did you know the Amazon Influencer Program pays you to review literally any product that's sold on Amazon? Now you do. Fancy more ownership? Say hello to side hustles. Transform your quirks into quirks that pay. Love garage sales? Become a treasure hunter and resell your find. Crafty with candles? Etsy's your stage to shine. Or you can just roll up your sleeves and get to work. From a neighbor's yard work to serving lattes at the coffee store down the block, there's always someone willing to shell out a few bucks for some help. And that, my friends, is how you navigate the tight wire balancing act of a crazy low income. Unfortunately, due to living through a recession, there are many people dealing with this exact situation. Speaking of recession, that's what we're going to talk about in our next video. So let's do this.